He's nursing a little bit of a strained hamstring, but he's shown great improvement. He has a motor, he has athleticism, toughness, and he's a great teammate. So he's been really good for us.
Mike said he was rebounding at a really high level.
He has been. He's rebounded very well. He's finished well, and like we said, he's played with an incrediable motor. And that's something that any team needs.
Yeah, it seems like kind of a strange thing. I think it says something about where we are at college basketball, the idea that a sophomore could be a veteran leader, but how's that part working out for him?
You know, he has natural leadership ability. That's something we felt when we recruited him. He's a great kid. He's really smart. He's very serious in his approach. And so he's a guy that, even though he hadn't been here long, he's a believer. And he understands, to the best of his ability as a sophomore, he understands our culture. And he believes in it. And those guys are important because we are so young. And the best way culture is taught is by players. And he's a guy that does that for us. It really helps us out with that.
Jeff, this year's team is unlike anything you've had in the past. You've got a lot of big men. I know that sometimes in the past that you and the coaches will sit down, figure out how you're going to work things out, how you're going to play. But this team's going to take a little longer, I guess, in that realm, isn't it?
Well, probably. I mean, most teams take a while, and especially now with the way college is, when you're so young. And for us, we've been fortunate. Where we've been in a position where we've developed guys and they've left early, and so because of that, we've had a new team, often, and we've relied on freshmen. Now, maybe not as many, certainly not as many as we will this year, but it will be different.
Yeah.
We have talent, and we have to figure out how to put all that talent together to become the best team we can be. That's the most important thing.
Defensively, with such a big guys on the back, will some of the guys like Trayvon, Grayson, Gary, will they be able to get out on the ball more so that you can protect the rim a little bit? Or?
Well, hope so. That's the plan. We feel like we have a chance to be a better defensive team than we have been. We're big. We're rim. We have rim protection. We're athletic. We're long. And so, ball pressure is something that's going to be important for this team.
What do you feel like, you got a ton of talented freshmen, but as far as Marvin Bagley goes, how do you think he's going to help this team, and what role do you see him fulfilling at this point?
Well, like you mentioned, all of our freshmen are very talented. Right. They're all great kids, and they all want to be good, and they all want to be a part of something bigger than them, and they all want to win, and they've all thrown themselves into that. Marvin, like some of our other guys, I mean, he's a unique talent, and he's a guy that plays really hard. He competes. What his role is right now, I don't know exactly. We don't know exactly what it is, but it's going to be an important one, and it's one that probably will change throughout. As he continues to grow and get better and figure things out. That role will, I think, continue to expand. He's a little bit behind. He wasn't here like the rest of these guys were the whole month of July, and so he's playing catch up. But at the same time, he's a unique talent, and you figure that out as quickly as you can.
How much will having a natural point guard like Trayvon on the ball change how you guys do things? You haven't really had one since Kyrie.
Well, Tyus was
Tyus,
one.
sorry.
Yeah.
Forgot about him.
It's okay.
Not important, right?
We won a championship. Trayvon will help us a lot. I mean, he's talented, and he's really gifted. At the same time, he has a lot to learn, and I think he knows that. I think it's one of the reasons why he wanted to come here, is that he knows he has a lot to learn. He's raw, but he's been a great listener. He's been a really good worker. And we expect him to fulfill a very important role for us this year.
Grayson has been through so much. I mean, he had a little bit of on-the-court issues last year, but he also had big-time injury issues. And, he was never able to be himself, but he seems like he's ready to grasp that. You guys named him as a captain. and he seems like he's ready to really have a great year.
Well, he's a very talented player. He's the one guy that we have that's proven himself as a college basketball player. He's been an All-American. He's been a National Player of the Year candidate as a sophomore and beginning as a junior, but more so as a sophomore with his play. He's won a national championship. He's been on the floor in crunch moments in a national championship game in a Final Four. And so, we're going to need all of that because we are so young. The biggest thing, I think, is that he's healthy. He never was healthy last year. And I think it was very frustrating for him. And he's had a really good summer, really good fall so far, a little bit of fall that we've had. And he's in a great place. And so the main thing for him is hopefully we can keep him healthy, just like everyone, and see how far that takes us.
Coach.